Bitcoin is right now dumping to the downside, is trading here at $105,800 level. The whole crypto market went down. Also, there's a lot of fear in the market right now. So in this video, we definitely have to talk about, is this finally the end of the bull run? Will we getting in a bear market, or will we see just a final shakeout to the downside? And for sure, we'll also talk about how low we can go here on Bitcoin. So this and many more we'll talk definitely today about his update videos. So definitely stick around till the very end, and let's directly start first of all here on the Bitcoin chart. Let's first of all start here on today's 4-hourly chart. So yesterday it was looking kinda good here for Bitcoin. We found some support here on the 200 moving average on the daily chart. So we got some support there over the Trump speech. Nothing really happens over there, but we saw over the night a small consolidation here to the upside. And by today, we was dropping like crazy to the downside. And this is happening exactly because the Nasdaq is following through to the downside and is here closing this wick here to the downside. Now the wick is completely fully closed. So there could potentially the next scenario that we're getting here in Bitcoin, a little bit more support here coming in. So $105,000 definitely needs to be held here, especially in this kind of level. So we also have a quick look about the next very important levels here for Bitcoin, because it looks kind of very likely that we're going to fill this wick in direction of $102,000 levels. So kind of 50% already of the wick is filled. So definitely prepare here for some more momentums to the downside if you're not able to get here in at least in the 50-minute chart. But as long we are here under this 50 moving average and the 200 moving average on the 50-minute chart, we should expect here way more continuation to the downside. Also here, we are following our downtrend here to the downside. So especially you can see it here right now, our downtrend is sitting here and getting supported or getting resistance from the 200 moving average. So at least if you're not able to break these to the upside, we could see here way more continuation to the downside, especially when we're looking on the 1-hourly candle. The 1-hourly candle is looking super ugly. And even not only the 1-hourly candle, also the weekly candle, we can see it here right now on this chart. The weekly candle is looking crazy, very bad for Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin will continue this drop to the downside, the next potential support level would be $99,500. The 50 moving average on the weekly chart, this is for sure the last level which definitely need to hold. If you're breaking the 50 moving average on the weekly chart, we should definitely aim here for way more continuation to the downside, and then we can potentially also see maybe potentially also the beginning of the bear market. I will not rule it out right now because, to be honest, we are on our trend line to the upside right now, and as long we are not flipping the 200 moving average and the 50 moving average bearish, we could potentially see here also continuation to the upside. So in my mind, this is only the last shakeout before we see a massive rally in Q4 to the upside. But nevertheless, if we have a look on the October looking quite very bearish right now, -6% right now. So we saw the years before, October was a strong month before. In kind of this month, we are already getting here into minus. But nevertheless, also on October, we have seen an all-time high and also the big liquidation candles to the downside, so especially this week to the downside. And when we also have a quick look on the liquidations right now, we see there is not much liquidity left to the downside. So there should be only like a less liquidity here in direction of 100. Let me refresh this very quickly here for you. So there's only some liquidity left here in direction of $105,000, so like 20 million, 15 million US dollar. But then the main liquidity is setting up to the upside, and this makes it more likely that we potentially get here the next leg in direction to $112,000 where main liquidity is also sitting. And when we're going here to the 3-daily chart, we can see it's super close. The main liquidity is to the upside. Even also on the 2-weekly chart, we have liquidity sitting in direction of the all-time high. So for the market maker, it doesn't make sense to drop us here a little bit lower and grab the liquidity. So from liquidity side, nothing makes even sense to drop us even lower. And by we're dropping a little bit lower, also the altcoins get hammering down like crazy. If you're going in the last hour, we can see here over 2 to 5% getting here a minus on the altcoins. So the altcoins are bleeding like crazy over the day. So in my mind, it doesn't make sense here. You see it here. This is the daily chart from the altcoins. Minus 10%, minus 12%, minus 20%, Jupiter minus 10%. It doesn't make sense to get here now in some altcoin position. The main focus, what we should potentially see here, is we getting support on Bitcoin. Assume we're not getting support on Bitcoin, it doesn't make sense to get here in some altcoin position. This is also the reason why in the last couple of days we mainly only focus here on Bitcoin content, because if the Bitcoin will not getting here any support, the altcoins will also bleeding like crazy, and we can do the chart analysis here on many altcoins. But if the altcoins are hammering down every day by 10 to 12%, it doesn't make sense to talk about it. So main focus for Bitcoin right now, and I want to give you exactly right now the next key levels here for Bitcoin. And this would be the first level we definitely have to get here, is here back in direction of 109,000 US dollars. So I want to see very fast a recovery candle, like a V-shaped recovery to the upside, to get a little bit more out of trouble. But to be honest, I don't see this coming in the next hours. I will potentially also see here more likely event that we're getting here, and we saw it many times before, short confirmation, and we talked about this in a couple of videos already before. Short confirmation, lag to the downside. Then we also have the same issue. We didn't came on top of the 50 moving average, and as long as 50 moving average and 200 moving average is holding us down, we could potentially see even lower lows here in Bitcoin. Also here we broke here our last low, got the next short confirmation in, and the next low would be here, or the next potential price target here for Bitcoin would be definitely here this week. So down below here at 101,000, 102,000 US dollars, at least when we fill this week, we have to get here some more support in. So then we have to see a V-shaped recovery like this, and a fast, quickly, heavy move to the upside. So a lot of momentum stepping in, a lot of bulls stepping here in, because if the bulls losing this level of 102,000 US dollars, guys, it will be getting very ugly, and we will go below 100,000 US dollars, trust me. So for this one, also here the 4-hourly candle, it's looking super ugly right now. So new 4-hourly candle is opening right now. So the last candle was a very big red candle. So I want to see it with this candle opening right now, a recovery to the upside. So this is what I want to see here right now. Doesn't make sense to talk here anymore about the Bitcoin, because assume we're not getting here any support here right now, we should go here a little bit lower. For this one, also 15-minute chart. Here we can also clearly see next key zones here for Bitcoin getting ASAP as possible over our 50 moving average. So the 50 moving average will come here a little bit more down. So create something like this, and then potentially we will see here the breakout to the upside. But guys, this would take in the weekend. And we all know over the weekend, the order books are more empty than during the week. So there could potentially even higher volatilities came also over the weekend. So over the weekend, maybe wick to the downside. To be honest, we don't need the wick to the downside, because then the wick get filled. So there's no liquidity to grab what we can grab here by a wick. So we will see the movements like this to the downside, and maybe over the weekend see some support here, and then by the following week we see the potential move to the upside. But as I looking right now in the charts, it's not looking any good here. So we need to kind of have like a super strong move on Bitcoin right now to the upside, or like a Trump post what's potentially getting us in here to higher levels, because also the Bitcoin ETF data's looking super bad here right now. So also Ethereum outflows here on the Bitcoin, on the ETF, on Ethereum, also on the Bitcoin ETF, $500,000 US dollars got outflow of the market. So also here we saw outflows in the Bitcoin ETF. So tomorrow we will also see how the week was ending. Also by Nasdaq have also now the last day on the week. So also potentially here we can see some more continuation also on the Nasdaq to the downside. Overall, the crypto market is in completely fear right now, 22%. Let me refresh this quickly. So we are in extreme fear sentiment right now, and I expect definitely that this will be also at least be having the same for the next couple of days. Last week we already got a greed feed, and this was exactly the moment where I should told you, okay, if every time when we're in the greed you should sell every time when we're in a fear. You should buy, and this is exactly what I'm doing right now. As soon we're reaching these kind of level down below here, this is the perfect opportunity to get here in a massive big long position here for Bitcoin, because as soon we're getting these fill of this wick here down below at 100, between 103 and 100 $2,000, I expect here a massive pump here to the upside, and this is the moment where I will open definitely a new long position. So I don't have any position open right now. So, but if you're looking for a cheap exchange where you get lowest fee in the market, just go in the video description. There you'll find a link here to BitUnix. This is the platform where I do all my trades. So you get 20% deposit bonus, and trust me guys, 20% deposit bonus in especially these kind of markets right now. This is the moment where you should enter these trades with the future bonus. So just go in the video description, claim your deposit bonus, go here to promotion, get in the task center, claim your deposit bonus, get your VIP trading level, and then you can trade with this money. You get it from the exchange as a bonus. So if you deposit like $100, you get $20 deposit bonus as a future bonus, and with this future bonus or even higher, if you deposit like $2,000 or $1,000, you can trade the next upcoming move here to the upside. And basically, as I say this is also the end of the video. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. So I will post there also a lot more updates here about the crypto market. So as you can see here right now, was wiped out a lot of liquidations in the last couple of 24 hours. So don't forget to also go in the video description there, find a link here to my Twitter. And otherwise, don't forget to like this video, and then we see in the next update video tomorrow.